Hey, this is Jessica with the Mindful Mentor, where I teach math mindfully. For today's homeschool resource demo video, I'm going to be showing you a demonstration of the program Night Zookeeper. It's an online program that uses animated games and activities to encourage students and teach them to learn to read and to write. It's really good for learning to write and work on spelling and grammar, and it's especially good for students who are maybe reluctant writers who don't usually really like to write. It's very good at inspiring them and helping them a lot with creative writing in an engaging, fun way. So let's take a look at what Night Zookeeper is like. Okay, so when you log into Night Zookeeper as the parent, this is what you'll see on the parent side. This is the parent dashboard. At the top, they've just got some helpful links that might help you get started on it, and sometimes they have free resources that they recommend. That would be all up here at the top. And then down here would be where any of your students would be. So this is my student that I've created here, and this is where you can go to see their progress and change their settings and everything. So when you click on a student, this is what you'll see to check their progress. And so it kind of has all of it just like summarized here for you and has it broken down into the different categories of what they could be working on. This is a summary of everything, or you can go to the individual categories. And so like in the reading category here, it shows you how much work they've done. And it will show you their results here, and you can scroll through the time to see. I just started this one, but you can scroll through to look back at past months if you wanted to. And then down here you can see the examples of what they've been working on, so that way you kind of have an idea of what they were doing while they were logged in. And then there's the challenges section, where the games that they would have played, and then it has them broken down by what types of games, what they were practicing, and their scores that they got. And then these were the games that they did play and what it was covering and what their results were, what they got on it. And then there's also a section of lessons that they can watch and participate in, and it will show you what areas they were doing lessons on and how many they completed total and how many they completed specifically this month. And again, there's a graph to show you what they've been working on. You can go to the settings here to change any settings if you need. If you want to change their username or their password or any information about your student, if you want to change the level that they're going to be at. So if you picked a level and it turns out it's too easy or it's too hard, then you can change it to a different level for them. And you can also change the features that you allow for your students. So especially like the privacy features, because there's an option where they can follow other people who are using Night Zookeeper, and they can have like friends on this website. But if you don't want that, if you don't want them to be able to connect with others on here, you can turn that off. And then there's also the features of what sections that they'd be able to see, and what kinds of activities. So if there's certain ones you don't want them to be doing, then you could turn those off. If you only wanted them to practice writing and you didn't want them to be playing games, then you could turn that off. So you can kind of customize the things that they'd be using. And then if you do allow them to connect with friends on here, there's a friends tab here where you can see all the friends that they have connected with. That way you can make sure you can monitor what they're doing on here, who they're talking to. If there's someone you need to block them from or whatever, this is where you could do that. Okay, so let's take a look at what your students will see when they log in themselves. So the premise of Night Zookeeper is that you are a zookeeper of this nighttime zoo. And so there's like a map that you follow, and you can go around the map to go to different parts of the zoo. And they have instructions to come up on the board that tell students what to do. And so either they can read it off the screen like this, or that blue button that's next to the writing. If you click that, then that will have it read it for them. So if they're not very good at reading or they don't know how to read yet, they can click the blue button and it will read the instructions for them. And so you use your flashlight here to clear different parts of the map. And then on different parts of the map, there's different activities and games that they can play. So here are just some examples of the different types of activities that they can do on this map. And they have different characters. They can like make up their own characters and draw them themselves, or they can buy characters from people who've already made them. And obviously not with real money, it's with like points that they get in the game. So that 23 that's up in the corner, that's like how many points you have. And then you use those points to buy and collect different things within the game. So this is like one of the characters that they can collect. And then they'll use this character to play the different games and activities in the game. So, like I said before, the map is where they go to kind of move around and get to different activities. And playing more activities and doing more lessons and everything are what help to power the flashlight, which moves you around to different parts of the map. And it also helps to get you points that you can use to buy things with. And so when you click the activities tab, these are just some of the activities that they have to choose from. They're sorted into categories. So there's like different games or lessons that they can do, like about writing reports, practicing writing reports, and doing, a lot of the games are like about vocabulary and spelling. There's free writes and little like quizzes and challenges that they can do. Like this, the sea lion sentences helps them to put sentences together. Word hunts would work for like spelling and vocabulary and everything. So there's all different kinds of games for different categories and things that they could work on within the game. So here's an example of the storytelling one of the storytelling activities they can do. So they choose their character that they want to use. And then within this storytelling activity, it was actually really cool. And it's very helpful for students that are maybe reluctant writers or just like are always like, I don't know what to write, because this storytelling activity gave a lot of guidance and like structure to and tips and resources to help students be able to write better. So it started out with some tips for students to use to keep in mind whenever they're trying to whenever they're trying to write. And then there's opportunities for them along the way to be creative and do a little bit of drawing and create new characters and everything. I just created a super basic one really quick just so I could move forward with the game here. But if you have students who like to be creative and artistic, that's a cool aspect of it as well. And then this is an example of some of the ways that they give them like guiding questions and help with brainstorming things. So it's got a sentence starter here for them. And then down below in purple, it says words that they want them to use and even the punctuation that they'd need them to use in order to write a good sentence for this one. And then this is after I would have answered a bunch of those questions. Then they get into this part about being able to write an entire story yourself. And again, it's still asking them guiding questions to kind of help them put their story together into a paragraph. And as they go, it makes sure that they have the right punctuation. Anytime I forgot a period, it would make sure I put a period at the end of my sentence. So it helps them pay attention to those details as well. And then it asks you these questions and puts your brainstorm all together in one place. Okay, and here's another example of an activity they could do. This one would be to help them practice spelling. So there's different episodes and sections they could choose for this one, but I'm just going to start from the very beginning here.
I'm a zookeeper. Stay long.
Never long enough for that true Spike.
And then once you do activities, you can earn points for each one, and then those points can level up your different characters that you have. And when you level them up, then you can add skills to them and increase certain areas for their card for that character, which you can use that card in other activities where there's like battles between the different characters. So doing the activities, it's the motivation of getting more and more points that kind of helps motivate students to keep working. And this is just an example of a game that they can do to practice some spelling and some vocabulary and a little bit of grammar and figuring out like what type of words. This is a word search of all adjectives, so they can be learning what types of words different ones are.
Exhausted.
And I just jumped all over and showed little samples of each game, so that's why some of them kind of seem like they jump to random places. Here is where students can see all of their work, and they can also get messages from the game about like different awards that they got. This is also where they can go to see the information about their friends, and then where they can see all their information about everything that they've done and their rank, and all of their assignments would be here, different awards that they may have won by completing activities and challenges and everything. All of that would be right here for them to see. And then another cool feature about this program is that they can submit their work to tutors to give them feedback. And so they can, like, when they do their writing, they can submit to professional tutors who can give them information and feedback about how their writing is already and what things they might need to change or improve on and things like that. So that's a really cool feature. This is another game that's practicing spelling. Like you have to rearrange the letters to try and spell a word. So this would be good for practicing spelling for students. And again, the motivation for these would be like they're earning points, which they can use for other activities and characters and things like that later in the game.
Already. E-R-D-A. Yesterday. O-D-A.
Here's an example of a game to practice definitions and vocabulary.
Arrogant. Exhausted.
I hope that demonstration video helped you to get an idea of what Night Zookeeper is like and if it would be a good fit for you and your student. If you'd like to try it out, click the link in the description below to sign up today. And if there are any questions that you have about the program that I didn't address in the video, let me know and I'll get your questions answered for you. If this video was helpful and you'd like to see other homeschool resource demonstration videos, subscribe to my channel so you'll get notifications when I post new videos about new resources. And if there are specific resources that you're looking for videos on, let me know in the comments so I can add them to my list.